Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 of the Let Off L7 Lunac build, LF7 in fact. And yeah, I'm just working on, well, let's just recap. Part 2 finished in this stage. Before I start infilling all these bits, I want to get the nose and the toe release and the servo sorted out before I get, say, too far ahead. So let me show you what I'm doing actually. I'm quite pleased with it. Move that safely out of the way. Okay, so I've been busy with the 3D printer and a little bit of lasering. What I've got here is a toe release. There was one online, but I modified it and made it, well, modified it quite a bit actually. But it's your standard toe release. Put your toe wire loop in, push the push rod forward on the servo, and it lock it in place. So that's going to go up behind the bulkhead. But yeah, look at this. Look, I found this online, and I thought it looks a bit of fun. What happens is the servo will sit in here, not this servo, and the push rod will go down onto here. And you'll have this action going on, and as you can see, it's sliding in and out, and then that will go through there. So when that'll lock in, and then it'll pull back, and the toe will release. But I've mounted the whole thing on a plywood tray, which is going to be glued into the nose of the aeroplane. And I'll put a little screw down in here somewhere, just to lock this to the plywood plate, because the plywood plate is going to be screwed in. And all this is going to be a little bit in the nose. But if I have trouble with the servo, all I'll need to do is pull out the little screw here, and then this whole thing will just slide right out. And that will just slide right out the nose. And I'll be able to take it out, service it, whatever, and then put it back in, guiding it through the hole in the front. Push it back in, and put the screw in. The other advantage is that when that's in, everything's flush. I can put a piece of plywood, here's a bit of balsa, right over the top. Everything will still work. Then I can mount my any batteries or nose weight or whatever on the top of it quite nicely. So that'll work well. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. This was a slightly sloppy in the hole, so I've put a piece of heat shrink tubing on the steel just to take out the play. And I didn't think of that idea. That was courtesy of our friend Mark Croucher, who did a short video on just taking the slop out of control horns on his ailerons. So it works there as well. So thanks, Mark, for that. Okay, guys, welcome back. So I've done a little bit of work and installed the toe release servo tray and fitted the toe release itself in the nose. You can see there that I put a flange. Here's one I made earlier. There's a little flange on the back edge to stop it pulling through onto the ply there, so that's quite nice. And put the nose block on, so that will want sanding down. I'll just take it down roughly to start with, but yeah, the tray is fitted on hardwood crossbars onto the formers. So you think, well, how are you going to get everything lines up? By the way, I assembled it all with the piece of wire sticking out, so as everything lines up. The piece of wire, I'm just looking for it, slides in and out there quite nicely now. Let's just pop it in. That goes straight into the hole of the sliding tray. I've put a slight kink in it actually, so to stop it coming out, but so it feels stiff, but it is actually nice and loose. See a little bit there. So yeah, so to service the servo or anything else, I just take the little screw out, which I've just taken out now, and the tray itself just slides straight out and up, because all this will be open, of course, don't forget. So that tray, George is slide in there, so that means the servo, let's just take that out again, the servo will be nice and accessible, and the linkage, etc. So quite pleased with that. This is a nice area underneath here. I could build this as a weight tray, whether I should sort of make a structure on the inside of that to actually take weight, because it's quite a big area. It could be quite flat actually, flat pieces of lead if necessary. But that's an idea. I can always build it and slide it in afterwards. So there we are. That was quite good. So should we just, for a bit of fun, just take this down a little bit. I'll have to put a little bit more on the top there because it was a little bit light. Stick a bit of something on. Should we just take a bit down with the razor plane? The good old David plane. Let's just take a little bit down. Okay, we'll stop there I think, guys. We don't need to go any further at this stage. So that's good. Now Mark Croucher had a good idea. In part one he saw me using a piece of paper to sort of make an imprint for the side pieces, but he had a good idea. He could get a soft pencil. Here's one for example. It's not soft, but it'll do for the minute. Got soft pencils, and use a pencil to rub the shape on the edge. It's got to be a soft pencil. This isn't a soft pencil. But just to rub the shape. Yeah, I'll have to definitely get a soft pencil, but we can see obviously there's a technique to this as well. Yeah, this is a well sharpened sharp pencil. I have to go and get a soft one, but you see the technique, so that would be worth trying. So thanks Mark for that. Which is the next job now, infilling, painstakingly infilling and relaxing while I do it. Okay. Clear a bit up as well. The other thing you'll notice I've got now, just move this a minute. The other thing I've got now is the brass and steel tubing for the rear wing locator, and also the actual dihedral wing joiner, beg pardon, the wing joiner itself. Plan calls for 12 by 3. I couldn't get 12, so I've got 16 I think it is, but I've got plenty of room, so it's not a problem. So that'll be my wing joiner. So I can now go ahead and build the centre section that holds these parts, which are plywood. I've got them here all ready to go, and assemble those. So, and then I can build those into the fuselage. But I think first of all I should finish the infill in. I've got these, by the way, from Model Shop Leeds, who carry a great supply, great stock of stuff, so check them out if you need any of that sort of stuff, or anything else, to be honest. Model Shop Leeds is the other end of the country from me. A long way away. I doubt I'll ever get up there, but their postal service is second to none. Okay guys, I'm going to start infilling again, because I couldn't do any infilling until that tray was in. So now it's in, I can crack on. Right, okay guys, I'm overdubbing this bit because the previous bit of filming wasn't at the right angle. So what I'm saying is I've built a ballast box inside the nose of the fuselage. The nose and just slipped in there and glued it all in. So I've got a nice plywood ballast box there, or a battery box, whichever. And now it's time to crack on with the rest of the infilling, which I shall be doing now in the very next part of the video. Okay guys, welcome back. So the other thing I have to look at is the wheel box, which is going to be made out of 1/16 ply and fitted up inside here. I've got to cut a section out, and also the main spar assembly, which goes in here. And I think I'm going to need to fit those first before I finish off the planking. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I guess that will be the start of part 4, and you can come back and see exactly what I've done, because that's quite a lot of work. Part 3 then has turned out to be quite short, 10-15 minutes at most, and although it's taken me a lot longer than that to plank all this in. By the way, Mark, I couldn't get on with your system of marking with the pencil, but I've actually got it down to quite a quick system of doing it now. So but you do need a fingernail just to mark quickly around the square, and shaping it and gluing it in certain ways. I've got it down quite quick. So it's funny really, because sometimes one will go really perfect. You just look at that and go, yep, slice off there, a little bit of sanding, and it's beautiful, just kisses in a treat. I always put a slight angle on it so it sort of sits in. And other times you sanding and sanding and sanding and shaping, and it just won't go. But it does eventually, of course. So quite pleased with that. When you hold it up to the light, there's very few little holes. One, I can see one maybe, which fell a little bit light. Might have to put some glue in there. But don't forget, the whole fuselage is going to be epoxy and glass. So I'm really looking forward to shaping it actually. Isn't it lovely? It's like a boat hull, only nicer. So thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in part 4 and cracking on. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Oh, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. It helps with the channel. A lot of you aren't subscribed that watch my videos, but it really will boost me up to that magical 5-figure, 10,000 figure. Yeah, I think I read the other day that only 2% of YouTubers ever reach 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, you and I are in that higher echelon, that higher league. Cheers guys.